Now let's step back a little bit. This issue I can agree is got to do with Chairman Wontumi. Last week, what actually came up? Wontumi Samreboi trial. Wontumi's lawyer Samuel Atachia has urged the High Court to defer judgment beyond 3rd July 2026. Now, citing the registry's failure to furnish him with the record of proceedings needed to file his written submission by the court ordered deadline of 23rd of June. Now, last week, Atachia said, they say, on the new lawyer, Emma Chairman Wontumi. Now, Sisiano, or no, I catch record to say, even though court, a catcher and say, onko jinkrata na proceeding documents no na on study. In fact, nanka was a court no on the 17th of this month no and I just think on a written submission be in free the defense counsel ho. But because Chairman Wontumi ebe catch court to say ono Chairman Wontumi no oni appear could be any maybe because appear could be Jimmy no. The court actually said say even though any mrem say or say appear could be back court ebe catch and say oni Chairman Wontumi nyejuma because on the rented Chairman Wontumi and also or high or this is ordinance or render the services ama Chairman Wontumi into see on the Chairman Wontumi nyejuma bi ma the court has nothing to do with it. But the court, out of respect for Apia Kubi and also not to look like they are preventing Apia Kubi from explaining himself why he's not a counsel for Chairman Wontumi, no, the learned judge actually listened to Apia Kubi's vague statement in court. Oh, we are not the answer to us. Okay, so Chairman Wontumi akofa a lawyer for Atachia. What she said, I want to ruling Moses say a year from the 17th we move the 23rd. Now a year Atachia or the new lawyer for Chairman Wontumi no on to making sure send a written statement no or the aba. Now remember, judge in that day no or a ruling be. Now ruling here very important. The reason why the ruling is very important to Ochina Court or Moko and Chairman Wontumi judgment and say judge the ruling no she was specific on some things. She was basically emphasizing on Nyomebia and to me affected the 3rd of July next month ruling no. Into those are not that ruling here very important. I'll say yejina adwene ekosi Obeka said on Sunday Kevin because Ochina something might happen in court. And when I say something might happen in court, and I say meaning BBC, but I'm trying to let you understand what Chairman Wontumi and then the lawyers so they are trying to do. I want you to understand what they are doing and why court is supposed to be very careful dealing with Chairman Wontumi and the lawyers, because the abuse of the court by Chairman Wontumi and then the lawyers from day one, it has been there. But the court for some reason Chairman Wontumi and then the lawyers too much room. And my fear is that at a point, sir, abuse here, Chairman Wontumi and then a legal team, abuse the court, it will set a bad precedent. Some lawyers in the future might capitalize on the court's generosity. You see, the court, Samreboi case, criminal case, I believe said the court has been very generous. And when I say very generous, there are so many things that I can court, in Isanka or more money secret during the trial. But for some reason, the judge on the case decided to give the accused all the opportunities to exhaust every opportunity. Send a beya, Obinko Jina Bebinka say, Nambe call court, and Achama Wontumi lawyers because say, your call court, there were some things that were not in our favor, and a court, I believe, say, the court has been very generous, but the generosity in a court, show Chairman Wontumi lawyers, they are abusing it. Now, Apia Kubi status are abusing, they have abused the court for a long time. Now, there's one thing. Say, court, they decided, say, because they want to give Chairman Wontumi the opportunity to, at the end of the day, defend himself. Now, court, and she say abusing the area too much. There are other legal brains. There are other people to in court. There are other people who are also facing the criminal trials. They are taking note of the court's generosity. When it comes to legal matters, there's nothing like generosity. What the law is the law. Basically, that's what I'm trying to tell you. The law is the law. That's why when people go to court, when lawyers go to court, they use acts. They basically base every statement they make on a precedent, on facts, because court is not a place to speculate. Now, the moment you give people the room to abuse the court, even you being generous, you are creating another avenue or window for somebody to also abuse the court. And it's sometimes in court, or because judge way there, judge way on judge way, because the reason is that the moment you try to be generous, not biased, or trying to allow somebody to walk free, the moment you try to let people feel like they also have the right to express themselves, defend themselves, the more you become generous, the more you do what? The more you create room for the court to be abused in the future. And that is what I have seen over in fact, since Chairman Wontumi case started, the council and our lawyers of Chairman Wontumi from Apia Kubi, ABC Atachiano, they have seen abusing the court, because the court allowed them to do that, Apia Kubi cry free, Chairman Wontumi Akofa Atachian, he also wants to do that. And that is dangerous for Ghana's court. It's dangerous for the judiciary. It is dangerous because other people are watching, other lawyers are watching. Now, there are two things you need to look out here. I'll see a judge ruling before Atachia was brought in as the lawyer. And secondly, how Chairman Wontumi, your static case way, criminal case way, na Apia Kubi and a lawyer, how they have abused the court to this point. Now,